over. I think it's a great honor. I did some research to find out about the institute. Let me tell you, I think this is one of the best that we have right now, and the kind of faculty that you have. I was interacting with them. I think it's a great opportunity and a great place to be. So on that note, let me start by sharing with you my professional experience, because I know I could, even if I'm not able to see you, I can feel the place that you are, because a couple of years back, maybe, not too long back, but 18 years back, I was sitting there. I was like one of the students, and I was also struggling to, kind of make a mark for myself. So I'll share, what all I did. And, I understand things have changed a little bit of context will change because it's a pandemic era. We are all struggling. So I'll give that view as well, that what is that you should do, because while I'm in a corporate, we are looking for people to really take this new assignment, take this new way of working in a very, very positive sense. So let me begin up. I did my postgraduate diploma in marketing management from Delhi, one of the institutes in Delhi. And then, my father, he was an IAS officer. So he used to tell me that if you don't study hard, you will become a salesman. And I was dreading that statement. Sometimes you say, Kehte hain, and I will use Hindi if it's okay with you in between, so that some of the words can be best expressed if you speak it out in Hindi, right? तो कहते हैं ना, कभी कभी वो जुबान पे बात, वो कहते हैं सरस्वती आ जाती है, वो सच हो जाती है. So he was forcing me to become and take up the UPSC exam and all of that, and I was not too keen. Somehow I was very keen to stay in a big city, work in the corporate world, and try to make things work for myself. So he was trying to push me to get into the UPSC. I made a half-hearted attempt, and I was like, I did not kind of qualify. So I did this, and I did my graduation, post-graduation, and joined sales. So whatever he said came true. कि पढ़ लो वरना sales में चले जाओगे. And this was his understanding कि नहीं पढ़ा तो he's I was not taking too much of a pride in talking about me at that point of time. That चलो ठीक है, started working. So chalo, anyways, when we start working, sometimes what happens, and what worked for me, I'll share with all of you. Some of these statements, they should stay in your heart, not in a negative sense, but in a positive sense. That's your motivation. Somebody is doubting you. And if somebody is doubting you, you find a way to prove that person wrong. I think that's the biggest victory. That's like winning the Nobel Prize, that you decided something and you did it. So in my mind, in my heart, that statement stayed. And my father said that, if you don't study well, you will join sales. So I think that was something which was my motivation at that point of time. But you know what, you start early, and, I remember my salary was some 6,800 rupees to begin with. And at that time, my father was not very, very proud of it. But anyways, I started working. First, I think when you pass out the age that you are in, you look for comfort, right? So I was looking for a job which was comfortable. So I got into an operations kind of a role. I did not get into sales first. And I was very happy that I'm not struggling in the market. I'm not going out meeting customers. I'm not getting rejected. All of that was my kind of key achievement. I could somehow manage to influence the guy who was taking my interview and all that. And I got into an operations job. After 3 months, somebody, in the department, he said that if you really want, then I started finding that life very boring. I said, I want something exciting. And he said, join sales. That's very exciting. I joined sales, and then I started cursing the guy who sent me in sales, because that was not something it's easy. It's very difficult. You have to meet clients. You have to be in the market. You have to get out of the comfort. And, couple of months, I just spent cursing the guy, because now there was no going back. And what you do in sales when you go and meet clients, rejections is the worst part of sales, right? This is what we believe. And we get rejected. And the biggest problem in rejection is not that there is something wrong with rejection. The biggest problem with rejection is that we take it to our heart. We feel that I got rejected. Rather than thinking that my proposal, my product, or my sales pitch got rejected, we start believing that I got rejected. And that's where the difference, and that's where the problem starts, that you start taking rejection personally, and you start taking to your heart. I think that's where I also did the same mistake. And when I did that mistake, I was totally dejected, and I stopped meeting clients. That's the biggest mistake that one person in sales makes. Rather than customers rejecting you, I started rejecting customers now. And that was again a problem, because then you are not making sales calls, then you are not meeting your numbers. The struggle was never ending. I was like, I don't know, I was thinking about my dad, that he should have pushed me a little harder to get into this UPSC thing. I would have been a comfortable in a comfortable position, and all of that came to my mind. What happened then, I heard this story, and this story changed my life. And that story kind of really stayed with me. 18 years, I still use this, and I still tell this to my team. And so far, I don't have a single person disagreeing to this story. And this story changed my life. So the story goes like this. And I'll try and speak both English. So Geeta ma'am, is Hindi, English both fine? I hope. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely, sir.
Okay, great.
It's quite intriguing in any which case.
Okay, great. So what happened is that this story goes like this, that एक छोटा सा लड़का अपने फादर के साथ मार्केट में जा रहा था, और मार्केट में जाते हुए वो गन्ना खा रहा था, इतना बड़ा गन्ना उसके हाथ में था. He was eating that sugar cane and he was going in the market with his father. सामने से उसके फादर के एक फ्रेंड हाथी पे बैठे चले आ रहे थे. तो दोनों मिले, आपस में बातचीत हुई, दुआ सलाम, चलने लगे. तो इस बच्चे ने बड़े मतलब भोलेपन से पूछा, अंकल अंकल आप अपना हाथी एक्सचेंज करेंगे? तो अंकल ने पूछा, उन्होंने पूछा किस चीज से? He said मेरे गन्ने से. He laughed and he went away. चले गए वो हंस के. जब वो चले गए तो इस फादर को इसके बहुत बुरा लगा, उन्होंने बहुत डांटा. ऐसे कोई बात करता है, ऐसे कोई पूछता है कि कोई अपना हाथी एक्सचेंज कर लेगा, वो भी तुम्हारे छोटे से गन्ने से? तो मतलब बोलने के पहले तुम सोचा करो, think before you make a proposal, think twice, thrice, what is this? And he went on and on. After he was finished, then this kid, small kid, he says, पापा एक बात बताओ, जब मैंने ये सवाल पूछा उस वक्त मेरे हाथ में क्या था? कह रहे गन्ना. कह रहे अभी भी मेरे हाथ में क्या है? कह रहे गन्ना. कह रहे सिर्फ पूछने से मेरा कोई नुकसान? कह रहे नहीं. कह रहे पापा अगर मान जाता तो I think you would have got the elephant, right? So there is no harm in asking. There is no harm in making an offer. See, when I was in sales, I understood that in sales, as it is, it's a no. A customer is a no. If I approach the client, it might become a yes. So I started thinking that in a day, if I speak to one client, that is a yes or a no. That's 50-50. If I speak to 10, then I have a 90-10 as well. So I started working on that. Ki boss, mera to could, at best a visiting card goes away, right? You go and meet a client and you give away your visiting card. That's the loss that you have. And it so happened at that point of time, I was aiming for a promotion, and I had done like decently well. And that was a kind of at entry level. What happens is that it's an auto. आप थोड़ा सा भी minimum करो तो आपको थोड़ा सा motivate करने के लिए officer से you make you a senior sales officer. ऐसा करके promotion हो गया मेरा. तो मेरा promotion आया तो मेरे boss ने बोला एक काम करो. मैंने कहा sales call करनी बड़ी मुश्किल है. And with that story in the context, in the background, he said, why don't you go and distribute your visiting cards? Because this is your promotion. You must tell and inform the world that you got promoted. And I got this idea. 3 sales call करना दिन में मुश्किल है. I started meeting 8 to 10 clients to distribute my visiting card. The high was that I got promoted and let me go and distribute. The high could be for all of you that I have just started working. Let me use all my contacts and go and tell them personally. Now, these days you can't, but digitally, how can I inform everybody that I have started working, or I'm looking for a job right now? Maybe all of you, I don't, we have in the MBA college, I'm sure there are some first year, second year, during whatever stage that you are, the work has to start now. And the message that I'm trying to tell you with this story is that you have nothing. You have nothing in asking. You just have nothing to lose. I will tell you, I was approached that, you have to come on a webinar, and this is a working Saturday for us. You have to come on a webinar with the MBA Institute. I said, yes. I didn't say no even once. It's always good to connect. It's always good to share. And trust me, out of 100, I personally believe, in my experience of 18 years, if you approach people with the right intent, with your right intent, trust me, they will say yes. Don't approach them for a sales call. Not everybody will give you sales, but trust me, everybody that you approach will become a friend for life. What's your objective? You want a sales or you want friend for life? I'm sure you will agree to the second one, right? I have never made a sales call. I have made friends for life. That's what I have done all these 18 years. I've approached people. I don't know them. They approached me. I've said yes. I approached them. They said yes. I don't know. Somehow it clicked for me. It worked for me. because I was never looking for a sales. I was looking for a friendship for life. I was always thinking long term. And if I get a guy as a friend, I'm sure he will help me in my business. If he needs my product, he will. If he doesn't need me, he will tell me someone who needs that product, right? That's the way to work. That's the way to network. That's the way to build your network. Don't get confused by getting into a profession of sales that you have to do a sales. You have to make friends for life. And in that course, you will get some sales, which will be, you will not have to work very hard for it. Life will become very, very easy. You're surrounded by friends. You're surrounded by people who are like-minded, who like you and you like them. And you will be enjoying that journey. And you know what? When you start the journey, you meet so many people. You never know 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the line who's where. And everybody's growing and doing better in life. And they will come along and you will suddenly have a huge network of people that you will be working with and you will be falling back upon. So remember, my first message is that, guys, whenever you start your career, look for a job which is challenging. Look for a job which will torture you. Look for a job which will test you. Because this is not about today. I keep giving this example that you guys are, the Mercedes-Benz in making. Remember the day one, the assembly line, the first step of Mercedes-Benz, it doesn't look exciting, right? It's just the chassis and the assembly line stage one. You don't pay premium for that, right? You don't pay money for the front level, first stage car, which is there. There's a level 1, level 2. On the assembly line, you finally reach a level 8 or 10. I exactly don't know. And that's where you charge a premium. That's where the brand comes and puts that stamp on you. But during that level 1, 2, 3, you allow people to work on you. Somebody will drill a hole on you. Somebody will change the color. Somebody will put some leather upholstery. Somebody will put a steering wheel. You will have to allow people to work on you. Don't get offended. Sometimes our professor says something and we feel, oh God, I will take a revenge. No, they don't have any agenda. They don't want their students to fail in life. But sometimes they have to be harsh on you. Sometimes they have to be tough on you. And I keep saying this, that tough love is one of the best love that you can have. You have to love people, but be tough. Because easy love is we both will die. You will die as a student, I will die as a professor in a college. So I don't want that kind of a love, right? You be tough to me, but you love me. And that's the most important thing that we should think about. So I think, when you start, and I'm sure you're going to start, the context has changed. You're not making a physical face-to-face sales calls. I think it's more important that you understand this digitally. I think you are in an advantage right now. You might feel constrained. You might feel that our times have, I don't know what's going to happen. The future is looking very, very bleak. To my mind, you are at a right stage. You are not in middle of something. Like some people are caught in the middle. They don't know where to go now. You are starting. I think you have to be very sensible which direction to take. Start building your digital presence, your social network now. And remember, my dear friends, remember that you don't get into sales and get into the mind of sales that I have to get into sales. Make friends for life and they will help you. So context might change. And I think you're in an advantage because you are at the starting point right now and you know which course to take. I have friends, colleagues, people, team members working with me who are in the middle right now and they don't know where to go. Kind of calls that I get, the amount of calls that I get right now for help, I personally feel very bad. But I think you guys are in a situation which is at the start point of a journey where you can very well decide what is that is going to work for me and how it should work for me. And trust me, when we were students at your age, absolute no sessions like this, absolute no motivation, no digital, knowledge was less. We used to fall back on people for knowledge. We were not able to get knowledge from the source which you have right now. Everything is available at a click of a button. You had to really work hard. I remember I was making a presentation, a brand presentation. I had to rent some video cassettes of some old advertisement. And then I had to carry my television, the big television in a car to the college, put that television, put the video recorder. And then I had to play that advertisement that I was referring to. All that effort, it's all available at a click of a button for all of you. So you are in a situation of advantage right now. So having said that, and then I started working and I was in sales and I joined training for some time. And then again, got back into sales. I was speaking to Geeta ma'am yesterday and we were talking about coming on this call. and this webinar. I think I would like Prestige to be a kind of a good platform for me, because I'm very happy to share with all of you that I think yesterday only I got promoted. So I have been elevated in the company. So I was changing the designation at that point of time. So I was saying no senior vice president. If you look my LinkedIn profile, it has yesterday evening I updated. So I'm now heading the entire partnership that we have. So earlier I was heading a tie-up that we have with HDFC Bank, 3,000 people in my team. Now we have a tie-up with 7 banks. So I'm heading all bank assurance partnership. We have corporate. So everything that we do with partners, I head that part of business, which is almost 60% of our company's business, and a team of 4,000 plus people, all levels, senior vice presidents, and all of that are now part of the team. So it's an exciting journey. How come I was earning 6,800 rupees? I was a frontline executive. I was very insecure. My father was behind my life telling me that I will not make it big. I don't know what worked for me. What did I do? I just want to share with all of you that what worked for me. And I'll put it in the context that you have. I think first thing that you need to understand, and I know in this age, it's very important that you understand that the relationships that you have with your parents, with your friends, with your college professors, colleagues, everywhere, I think you have to think long term and understand that, that's an important part of your life. And trust me, guys, every person who comes in your life has a role to play. You have to understand that what is the role that they're playing in my life. Allow them to play that role. They may not be there forever. They will remain in touch. They will be in contact, but they will not play that role forever in your life. Allow them to play the role that they're playing. Somebody is very nasty. Somebody is trying to be mean to you. Trust me, it's that role that he's supposed to play in your life. Take it. Get the message. What is the message that I'm getting out of this incident? What is the message that the person is trying to give me? What is that I'm getting out of this whole incident? And just remember this, the relationships, your parents, your brothers, your relatives, your sisters, everybody, your professors, your friends, they have a role to play. Allow them to play the role. Please encourage them to play the role. Take it very seriously at the point of time, but don't take anything seriously beyond the message. Very, very important to get the message right. Sometimes we focus too much on the lyrics that we forget the music. Enjoy both. Enjoy the lyrics as well as the music, because the music is also telling you something, right? It's the message in the music as well. We don't know what kind of instruments are playing in the background, right? When you listen to your most popular song, sometimes focus on that. Sometimes focus on where this sound coming from, where this beat coming from. I'm giving you just an example, but I hope you're getting the message that I'm trying. Don't take them too serious. Somebody who's not being nice to you, don't take them too seriously. Allow them, because that's helping you build what I have personally believed. And being in sales, sometimes the pressure is so high, and during these times the pressure is so high. It's like you can't imagine the kind of pressure that we are going through as professionals. And when you are leading large teams, all of these pandemic situation and numbers and business, I'm happy to share with all of you that this 3 months when we were in complete lockdown, the business that I'm heading is growing by 40% growth. During the times where I'm meeting people, talking to people, they're not growing. Imagine you are growing over last year, April, May, June. This year, April, May, June, 40. I did 100, I did 140 this year. So that's the kind of growth. So what's working? What's going on? How it is helping my team and everybody else, because we are not focused too much on getting negative right now. There is a problem. Yes. Let's find out what is the problem. And I personally believe that, there is a first principle thinking. I'm sure you can do a Google to understand. Not a, I'll just refer that, and maybe you can. Elon Musk follows that first principle thinking. First principle thinking tells you to go down to the basics. Go down, like you see the apple. Don't see the apple. Go to the root and find out what kind of a soil, what kind of root, what kind of water, what kind of trunk, what kind of branch gives that kind of an apple. When you look at an essay, get to the words and the letters and the words and sentences and paragraphs to get to that essay. So just an example, I have also read this. I'm just sharing with you so that you can also try and figure out what is first principle thinking. It will help you in times like these when you are starting the career. Why I'm sharing this first principle thinking is because right now you are at the cusp of deciding which direction to take. And I am talking about myself. Your strength could be something else. Your strength could be something at the back end. Not that I'm a great back end guy as well. I can do a great job in operations as well. But I found sales more exciting. To find out what is that is going to work for you, and and do that first principle thinking to identify where is the opportunity, and don't look at the end result. Everybody looks at the peak of the mountain that you want to get there, but there is a process of reaching that mountain that you need to focus on. So first identify where do you want to start, and how do you want to start, and what do you want to do as part of your career, start of the career. And during these times, trust me, more than emotions, because emotions are always there. And in these times, there are emotions coming from all directions. I was talking to Priya, and she was telling me that these WhatsApp and all of these social platforms and these social media, everybody has become a champion on every subject. Everybody's forwarding messages to all of us, and we are consuming that data as well. Be a little restrictive in what is that you want to consume. Allow, delete, and sometimes block, because that's not good for your career. That's not good for your, that for your well-being. Your apart from the physical, mental well-being is also very, very important. So that's where I think the disconnect is. That you need to allow people and allow the kind of content that you want to come into it, and therefore take a decision basis that. So be a little logical when you're deciding about your career at the first step. And I know this time is a very, very different time. And I was telling, when we were coordinating, I guess, all of you had, from the college, you had reached out to Priya Kumar, the motivational speaker. I think I was telling her that this is the time where we need to be very, very careful in the direction that we want to take as a student, because there are a lot of people that we hire at this age, and I personally kind of tell them, guide them to make sure that they don't go wrong when you're deciding. And I don't know your strength, so the best is to identify what are the core problems that I can solve, and what is the core of the profession that I'm trying to take. Is it matching? Because it has to be a win-win. You win, I win. If you don't win as an employee, I will not win as an organization. So it has to be a win-win. And sometimes, you know what? The organizations don't change their expectations from you. It's constant, because nothing to do with Sandeep Mishra. It's the expectation of the company. You have to fall in love with that. So be very clear of what you're getting into. थोड़ा अभी चलते हैं, शुरू करते हैं, at least let me start, बाद में कुछ हो जाएगा, नहीं होता. The companies only amplify and augment all of these expectations. They don't change. So be very sure of what you're getting into. And once you have got into it, just fall in love with it. Pour your heart into it. Don't even worry about it. Get convinced that this is the best thing. If you're not convinced, it will always be a challenge and a problem for you. Right? So having said that, I think so far, I think I have been making sense to all of you. And I'll just quickly summarize before I move to the next part of the conversation today. I shared with you that how I started my career, and sales at that point of time. My father said that, if you don't study hard, you will become a salesman. That statement stayed in my heart. And till date, that's the power that I get, because I want to prove to my father every time I do something good, like I got promoted, I go and pick up the phone and tell him that, you know what, I'm this now. He feels good deep inside. But I also tell him that, you remember you told me that you will, you will become a salesman if you don't study hard and all of that. That kind of have a statement which will keep on motivating you for life. Positive sense. Don't be negative with your parents or anybody else, but in a positive sense, take that statement to your heart and say, one day I'll prove you wrong. I think that's the biggest power. That's more than winning the Nobel Prize, to prove somebody wrong that, you doubted me. I'll tell you what I am. It will take time. Don't worry. It will not happen in the first 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. You will still be a lost soul. You'll go through your anxiety and, identity crisis and all of that. Please allow that to happen. If the body is reacting, you're getting frustrated. This means body is changing, body is evolving. It's taking the pressure for the first time. You haven't handled this kind of a situation ever. Allow your body allow your mind to experiment and go through that pain. But at the end of it, you are going to become better. जब थोड़ा प्रेशर ज़्यादा डालते हैं तो बॉडी थोड़ा रिएक्ट करता है, इमोशनल हो जाते हैं, and we try to behave differently. Allow that to happen, because that's the process of growth. Your body has immense potential. Your mind has immense potential. It's just going to the next level now. Don't get frustrated and take some drastic steps. Okay, I will quit this job. Some people do that. They get offended. हमने उनको जोर से बोला, दुखी हो जाते हैं. मैं तो बुलाता हूँ, इधर आ, कोई बात नहीं, मैं माफी मांगता हूँ. I am sorry. Don't worry. I understand what you're going through. But allow this to happen. This is how you will grow. You will not get supervisors always who understand this. So I think it's very important that you take something as a power behind you, inside you, that's your motivation, and go all out. Meet as many people as possible. I told the story, I shared that with you. uh, as many people as possible, go and meet them. Build digital contact these days. Make friends for life. Don't worry about sales, it will happen. Whatever you want to do, it will happen. Friends for life. You don't want to shortchange your friends, right? You don't want to play short term. अपने दोस्तों को धोखा देने के लिए आप नहीं सोचते कि बुढ़ापे में इनसे नजर मिलानी है. So how can I do something wrong? Even if the person is there for a small time, I'll be extra nice to him, right? Allow people to work. All of you are, the Mercedes Benz and the Rolls. I'm just giving an example in making, right? This is the starting point. Allow people to work on you, and one day you will charge a premium. One day you will become a brand, and one day people will be say, tell me how much do you want, and we want to hire you and want to, give this big responsibility to you. And that's how it works. Yeah. uh, as far as starting the career is concerned, do some research to understand what's your strength, where can you do a great job. And once you have done that, even if you're 6 on 10 on that skill set, and that, don't worry, you will develop some of these over a period of time. Allow people, and allow with a mentality and a mindset that I am a, one of the principles that I follow is that, I write this everywhere on all my platforms where I'm introducing myself. I'm a student for life. I don't know anything. You tell me every day. I get up in the morning, say, I don't know anything. You tell me. You're a student, whether you're senior, whether you're a junior, your colleague, you're a building guard. Tell me, teach me something. Tell me what is to be. So you don't have to be for a student of life. It doesn't mean that you have to keep reading books. If you love reading books, which I do, I love reading books a lot. I learn. Most important than reading is to become a learner. So when I say student for life, be a learner. Keep your eyes and ears open. Not necessarily by reading a book only you will learn something. By interacting with people. Some rejection, oh, what was the learning? Come back, you will feel bad. That's the human reaction. Let that human reaction happen, but later process. What happened? What did I learn? Okay, next time I will not make a mistake. Now, this mentality of a student will always help you. Don't let this go. All of you are a student right now. Don't let go of this responsibility of a student in your whole of your life. Even if you retire, you don't let go of this mentality of yours. So keep learning and be very sure of what you're getting into, because that's where, you will become successful. If you like something and if you're doing it, I think that's the best thing to happen. And whatever you get into, as I said, if it's on 10 on 10 and 7 on 10, you like something and that's what the role is, and you are here. This is what your capability is. Don't worry, jump into it and fall in love. If you are in love, you will see all good things, all positive things. And I know all of you students can relate to that. Then when you're in love, everything looks nice and beautiful. So fall in love with the kind of job that you are doing. It will give you a great strength. Now, coming back, I think 3 principles that I wanted to share with you, which is very clearly kind of going to help you. It has helped me as well. I am sure it's going to help you. Is number 1. I think the first thing that you need to work and keep in mind is have a big goal and a long-term goal. Don't worry about today, tomorrow, and day after. Have a very big goal. If you don't have a goal in life, trust me, you will always have a problem. I give this example very often, and I hope it happens. It used to happen when I was in college. You're sitting in college, somebody comes with a bike and says, let's go to the market. I want to buy something. Now you go to the market, you have nothing to do. You will go to the market sitting on his bike. He wants to buy. He will look at the shop. He will look at the shop which he wants to go. He will look at the stuff that he wants to buy. He will make you look at, you decide, you tell me, 3-4 hours are gone. And you are enjoying that. Again, in next day comes back, yaar, my mom said it's not a good, let's go again. Now he has a goal in life, right? He has a goal to buy, and again, next day replace. You don't have a goal in life. So you're working on his goal. That's the problem. And I'm just giving an example. This is exactly what happens in the corporate life and in your bigger life. If you don't have a goal, you will work for someone else's goal. You will spend your time and feel at the end of it frustrated. What did I do the whole day? He was buying a pair of denims. I was with him. One day I spent 4 hours selecting the denim and the shop. Next day I'm again spending 2-3 hours to exchange the denim. His goal is being met. I am the one who's just spending my time. What did I achieve out of these 2 days and 8 hours of investment? So it's very important to have your own personal goal so that you don't work for somebody else's goal. Now the friend comes, sorry, can I go at 6 o'clock? 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, I have some free time. Right now I'm busy because I'm working on my goal. Your goal is to buy a pair of denims. My goal is to work on something else. So allow me. You want me to come? I will come at 6 o'clock in the evening. So have a goal and have a big one. Your goal should scare people. They should feel, oh, what? You will do this? I think that's the reaction when you get from people. That is the time when you know that your goal is good. If everybody tells you, yes, yes, go ahead, you can achieve that, I think that's not a good goal. To my mind, definition of a good goal, it should scare people. It should be strong enough to say, boss, ye to possible nahi hai. 3 people should come and tell you. And I'll give you an example. Today, when you start working, you tell people the first thing that I will do is buy a Mercedes. Right? They'll say, have you gone mad? Do you know the maintenance? Try this. First 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, the first car that I'll ride a bike, but the first car that I will buy is a Mercedes. They will start talking negative about it. You can't afford it. You know the maintenance kitna lagta hai uspe? Mahine ka lakh. Just look at the reaction. Are they saying anything positive that yes, I trust you, except for your mom, dad, or I don't know how many people? Everybody else will try to pull you down. I'll give you a story here. So what is important when you have a big goal, and how this story will explain to you. एक गांव में लोग ना, वहां पे एक रिचुअल था. मेंढक, उसकी रेस लगाते थे लोग. रोज अपने मेंढक को तैयार करके एक छोटे से एरिया में रेस लगती थी. सब लोग अपनी मेंढक लेके आते थे और ताली बजाते थे और मेंढक जंप करता था. जंप एक डायरेक्शन में जंप करना है मेंढक को. कभी इधर भागता है, कभी इधर भागता है. रेस ये थी, छोटा डिस्टेंस है, लेकिन मेंढक एकदम 4 छलांग मार के फर्स्ट आ जाए. और सब लोग अपने मेंढक को मतलब इनकरेज करते थे और बाकियों को डिस्करेज करते थे. तो बहुत हल्ला होता था वहां पे. और आई एम श्योर यू वुड हैव हर्ड दिस स्टोरी. और वो सारे मेंढक जंप कर रहे होते थे. एक दिन एक आदमी आया, उसने अपना मेंढक रखा और मेंढक ने 4 छलांग मारी और फर्स्ट. अच्छे पैसे लगते थे उस पे, वो जीत गया. और मतलब लोगों ने इतना हल्ला किया, मेंढक कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ा. उसने फट 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 4 स्टेप में ही फिनिश द रेस. नेक्स्ट डे अगेन, एवरी सिंगल डे वो उसके मेंढक को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता था. वो इतना बढ़िया ट्रेन था, वो लगाता था 4 जंप और रेस खत्म. और सब लोगों ने बोला, यार ये कैसे हो रहा है. एक दिन उसको पकड़ा, कर नहीं कुछ नहीं, ऐसे ही तो मैं ट्रेनिंग दे रहा हूँ. नहीं बहुत जिद करी. सबके पैसे जब खत्म हो गए और ही वाज बिकमिंग रिच, तो उसको पकड़ा एक दिन, भैया तुम बताओ ये होता कैसे. उसने बोला, देखो जी, मेरा मेंढक जो है ना बहरा है, इसको सुनाई नहीं देता कुछ. तो आप जितना भी चिल्लाओ, हल्ला करो, इसको नहीं सुनाई दे रहा. He is on his track. तो कई बार when you have a big goal, when you are chasing something very powerful, meaningful, थोड़ा आपको बंद करना पड़ेगा. ये don't allow people to rule you. मैं तो कहता हूँ, एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ, अपनी जिंदगी का रिमोट आप किसी और के हाथ में मत दो. आप रखो अपना रिमोट अपने पास. आपको कब खुश होना है वो पता है. जब आप अपनी रिमोट किसी को दे देते हो ना, तो उसको पता है. वो कहता है, देखिए लाल वाला बटन दबाएंगे, देखना है कैसे उछलेगा. इसको पता है कैसे गुस्सा दिलाना है. तो उधर से रिमोट लेकर आता है, लाल वाला बटन दबाता है, आप गुस्सा हो जाते हो. नाउ द रिमोट इज, चलो आपको पता है लाल बटन दबाने से गुस्सा आता है आपको, लेकिन चूंकि आपके पास रिमोट है तो आप गुस्सा नहीं होते हो. नहीं, मैंने तो दबाया नहीं, आपने दबाया, मैंने नहीं दबाया. You have to be deaf if you're starting a professional journey and you want to make it big and you want to end where you want to end. Not that कि कहीं तो पहुंचेंगे. I ask this question a lot of time when I meet people, that what is that you want to achieve? What is the goal that you're chasing? 2025 में आप कहाँ होंगे? कहीं तो होंगे. कंपनी कुछ तो करेगी मेरे लिए. Now these are all vague questions. कंपनी क्यों करेगी? आप बताइए, आप क्या करेंगे अपनी लाइफ में. अगर आप, why it is important, because I keep saying this also, that you are making a movie. आपकी जिंदगी के ऊपर एक मूवी बन रही है. आप उसमें एक्टर हो, लीड एक्टर. आप डायरेक्टर भी हो, आप फिल्म के स्क्रिप्ट राइटर भी हो, आप फिल्म के एक्शन और मतलब स्टंट मैन भी हो. तो बस मतलब अगर आप सोचो, अगर मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल दूं कि एक आदमी सब कुछ अपने ऊपर फिल्म बना रहा है, वही डायरेक्टर, वही एक्टर, फिल्म के फ्लॉप होने के चांसेस बहुत हाई हैं, क्योंकि आप सब खुद कर रहे हो. तो बहुत केयरफुल होने की जरूरत है. जब आप सब खुद कर रहे हो, आपकी मूवी बन रही है, आप हीरो हो, आप डायरेक्टर हो, आप स्क्रिप्ट राइटर हो, आपको बहुत मेहनत करने की जरूरत है. Not because you do it for anybody else. I keep saying this. I don't work for a company. I work for myself. मुझे सक्सेसफुल होना है. आप give me a goal, I'll outperform. Why? Because I am working for myself.
कुछ झंझट ही नहीं रहेगी जब तक क्या है, नहीं तो फिर नहीं गया, आया नहीं आया, वो पहले जैसा ना.
I can hear some. Yeah, great. So you are working on yourself. You are not working for anybody else. You are not working for your company or a supervisor. They will give you tasks. They will give you direction. जो इंडिया में Olympic के गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट होते हैं, The other day we were having a session with Leander Pace. Now the coach will tell you, but he was not working for the coach. He was working for the country, and he was working hard for himself. I want to be a champion. I want to win the gold medal. I want to be a person to be known. Each and everybody in India should know me. You work for yourself. And जब आप ऐसे काम करोगे ना तो प्रेशर नहीं आएगा. मेरा बॉस मुझे बोलता है चलो 10 करना है, मैं बोलता हूँ 20 करूंगा. मेरा प्रेशर खुद का इतना बड़ा है कि बॉस का तो लगता ही नहीं है. वो कहता है 10, मैं तो अरे आप 10 बोल रहे हो, मैं तो 20 सोच रहा हूँ. Not that I tell him, but I tell myself that if you're telling me 10, I am planning 20. You give me pressure 10 क्यों नहीं हो रहा? मैं सोचता हूँ यार क्या प्रेशर है, मैं तो 20 सोच रहा हूँ. And I'm telling you about not today because you can't do 10 out of 20 at this level, but at least, and when you start your career and the boss is trying to put pressure on you, ये क्यों नहीं हुआ, अरे यार कैसे होगा, and you will have people come and tell you नहीं हो सकता, ये नहीं हो सकता. मैं 10-20, आप 10 बोल रहे हो, मैं 20 सोच रहा हूँ. He will be shocked that how come, and the pressure that he will give you is very small because आपका खुद का pressure इतना बड़ा है. अच्छा 30 days में complete करना है, आप मन में सोचो 15 दिन में कर दूंगा. Imagine the pressure and the delivery that will come out of it. Who will celebrate at the end of it? The boss will be happy, but you will be celebrating. I think that's the biggest joy that you can get. You don't need any award. You know what? The biggest motivation is that what you do, set small goals and achieve it. That's the biggest motivation. Subah alarm lagaya, 5 baje utke, I will go for a walk, pick up the phone, set the alarm, get up at 5 o'clock, go for a walk. Trust me, you will be motivated for the whole day because you set something and you achieved it. This is my learning. सुपरवाइजर आया, पीठ थपथपाएगा, देन आई विल गेट मोटिवेटेड. बॉस ने मेरी तारीफ नहीं करी, मुझे मेल नहीं भेजा मेरे तारीफ में. अगर आप वेट करेंगे, मान लो बॉस ने मोटिवेट नहीं किया आपको 3 महीने, तो आप क्या 3 महीने डिमोटिवेटेड रहेंगे? 3 months of your life you will waste because somebody external and somebody did not motivate or pat on your back. Do something good, pat yourself and move on. That's what motivation is. So to achieve, have first a big goal and then set small goals, very small goals to keep yourself motivated. Very small, like get up in the morning at 5 o'clock, go for a walk. Very small goal, achieve it, you will feel happy. It will help you achieve the bigger goal. I think that's the mantra. You know, I read somewhere definition of success, and I'll also define failure. You will read it, many definitions, but I'll give you a very simple one. Definition of success: small acts of discipline followed every day. You will become successful. I'll repeat once again. Small acts of discipline followed every day. What is failure? Small acts of discipline ignored every day. The key word here is small. The key word here is discipline. And the key word here is every day. Don't wait for one big day. You know, you have to put that effort, small ones, every day. If you do it, you will become successful. If you're ignoring it, you will become a failure. So big goal and make that small effort every day. That's the key. That's the mantra. That's worked for me. And I know, and you know what? I also give this example that if you want to become a doctor, what will you study? You will study medical science. You will get into a medical college. If you want to become an engineer, what will you study? You'll study engineering, right? You will get into engineering college. MBA, you will join Prestige and you will refer friends to join Prestige, right? If you want to become an architect, you will read architecture, right? If you want to become successful, what will you read? What will you read? You will read successful people, right? There is no college that 2 years course and you will become successful in life. Read successful people, observe successful people, look at them, what they're doing. How are they spending their time? How are they utilizing their time? What do they do? You know, recently I wrote an article and I keep doing this now. And during these lockdown times also, it came to my mind that it's a good way to reach out to people. So I've started writing a lot on articles on LinkedIn and all. I was writing about time. You know what? Time, to my mind, when you have time by your side and when you're utilizing it properly, you will create magic. And the big goal that you have kept for yourself will really help you in achieving those small goals with the proper utilization of time. It's very important that you understand that. So have a big goal, and to achieve the big goal, don't start the journey if you don't have a big goal. It's very, you know, it's like आप बस अड्डे पे खड़े हैं, बस स्टॉप पे खड़े हैं, आप मतलब कोई भी बस आई आप उस पे बैठ के निकल गए. वो भी होता है कि कोई भी बस आई, क्यों खड़े हो, बस की वेट कर रहे हैं. आप पर्टिकुलर होते हो ना, मुझे कौन से नंबर की बस की वेट करनी है. अगर आप दिल्ली बॉम्बे में, मैं दिल्ली में था, तो भाई 833 नंबर की एक बस है, उसकी वेट करनी है मुझे. वो आएगी, मैं उसी पे चढ़ूं, चाहे वो कितनी भी बस आ जाए, जब तक 833 नहीं आएगी मैं उस पर नहीं चढ़ूंगा. बहुत क्लियर था मेरे दिमाग में, राइट? दिस हाउ इट वर्क्स. बी वेरी क्लियर ऑफ विच डायरेक्शन आर you going to go, and that's going to help you. And to do that, have small goals that will keep you motivated. So that's number one. Number two, I think it's very important that you work very hard for it. You should be working the hardest. इतनी पागलपन होनी चाहिए उस गोल के लिए. एक गोल ले लिया, लाइफ अच्छी हो जाएगी, ऐसा नहीं होगा. You will have to work the hardest. If you are not working hard, then who is? ये आपकी लाइफ है, आपका गोल है, आपका करियर है. Who should be working the hardest to make it? And when I say work hard, doesn't mean just physical labor, कि मैं 14 घंटे काम करता हूं. Apply your brains. You don't have to do everything on your own. Delegate some of these things. Learn faster. And technology by your side, everything by your side. As a generation, I think you guys are blessed that you're having technology by your side, which is going to help you immensely. If I took 18 years of my career to reach here, you should do this in 12, 10, 6 years to reach here. And that's where the magic is, that how do you really work the hardest? If a guy is coming at 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in office, you should come at 8:30. Just to utilize the time. If you're there in office, you will utilize your time and you will find a way to work. Run for work, ask for work. Don't run away from work. So nobody's doing it, I will do it. Because you know the big goal that you have. And the power of big goal is they work like magnets. They keep pulling you back. Like I give this example that if you're from Delhi, you're going to Jaipur, there is a highway, right? और गुड़गांव से निकलते वक्त बहुत ट्रैफिक दिखता है, तो एग्जिट भी है. आप हाईवे पे देखें, एग्जिट 1, फिर आगे एग्जिट 2. अगर आपका मन नहीं है तो आप एग्जिट ले लो. बट अगर आपको पता है कि मुझे जाना है, will you take that exit, which is very attractive? No, you will not. You will still go and take that route, and you will make sure that you're moving ahead. So there will be distractions, there will be bad days, there will be challenging times. Trust me, have that faith, that power statement on you, and that is going to really, take you to the next level. So work really hard. You have technology, use it wisely, and don't use these platforms to create kind of a situation where you are getting influenced negatively. There will be negative content. You can't control that. But what you can control is what is that I'm allowing. You remember that story where the deafness is important, that you need to shut off at some times where you don't allow people to speak to you or discourage you. If they're encouraging, please hang on. I read somewhere and I say this, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. अगर आप उस रूम में सबसे समझदार हैं अपने दोस्तों के बीच में, आप गलत कमरे में, आप अपना कमरा बदलें. आप ऐसे कमरे में जाएं जहां आप सबसे कमजोर, सबसे कम समझदार हैं. Because that's where you learn. That's where you kind of pick up things which will make you successful in life. So if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Change the room. Go in the room where you are not the smartest and there are smarter people than you, and you are willing to listen to them and learn and imbibe and implement so that you become better. I think that's where the magic is. And you have to constantly, when you are working hard, that doesn't mean I'm just working hard. Work hard on the job and work hard on yourself. That's most important. आप अपनी communication skills को कैसे ठीक कर रहे हैं? Till date, and I can tell you that there are a lot of challenges that I also have. Even if I try and I know that I can talk well, but still I know that I get feedback. आपने ये ठीक से नहीं बोला, this word was not correctly pronounced, and you should do this and you should do that. I still take it positively, okay. And immediately I try working on it. How do you do that? What do you do that? Not that I know everything. How come I have reached so far? If I'm not good, no, that's fine. If you've got here, that doesn't mean you will get here with the same skill sets, right? अगर आपको साइकिल चलाना आता है तो ऐसा नहीं है प्लेन चलाने लगेंगे, उसके लिए सीखना पड़ेगा आपको. And that starting point is you are a zero. Every time you try to acquire a new skill, you become a zero from a hero. आप साइकिल चलाने में एक्सपर्ट हैं, बट जब पहली बार आप गाड़ी में या बाइक पे बैठते हैं तो भाई नर्वस तो होते हो आप, right? So you become a zero. Every time you start something new, you will become a zero if you were a hero earlier. And have that confidence on you that one day I will become a hero. कोई बात नहीं, आज मैं zero हूं ना, एक दिन hero बनूंगा. But that feeling sometimes ना हमको बहुत discourage करती है, और हमको लगता है ना, I will not. इतना मेहनत मेरे से नहीं है. And we kind of quit. I think that's the second principle. And third is very, very important. And this is for your context that I'm saying during the pandemic and all of that situation that we have. I think digitally, you need to be very, very smart. Find a way where you can make a business where there is a digital way of reaching out to the clients, because right now, any physical retail mode is not working. So if you're looking for a career choice, look and build your credibility on the digital platforms. I see a lot of people putting on Instagram a selfie and a coffee and a mug and all of that. Well, do that sometimes, but don't make it, because some of these things you can't remove. These are your digital footprints. Create a platform, a credibility for yourself on the digital, which will 10 years down the line, when you are aspiring to become a CEO, it will say, oh boss, this is the right guy. He's the guy who has got the thing right from day one. पहले दिन से इसकी सोच ऐसी थी. आप जाके देखो 10 साल पुराना ना, उसको डिलीट कर दो, वो तो मैं जोश में था, वो तो मैं ऐसा. बिकॉज अगर आपको पता है कहाँ जाना है, तो आज पहले दिन से आप तैयारी कर लोगे ना. आपको पता है हिमालय जाना है आपको ट्रेकिंग के लिए, तो आप घर से तैयारी करना शुरू करते हो, राइट? कि हिमालय में इतनी हाइट पे इतने सांस लेने में दिक्कत होगी, तो पहले आप बेस कैंप जाते हो, उसकी प्रैक्टिस करते हो. आपको पता है हिमालय जाना, आज तैयारी आज से. ऐसे थोड़ी जिस दिन हिमालय पहुंचेंगे तो सोचेंगे फिर करना क्या है. ये तो आपको पता है, यू विल नीड टू गेट टू दैट 8,848 meters. That preparation has to start from today. You know the world is going that route where it's only online, digital. I am no expert to comment on that, but my understanding is that it's not going to get over very soon. Whatever we are into right now, it's going to continue for some time. Good. Now we have accepted that. Now let's work on it. Now, how can I become successful in this context? What should I do to become successful in, rather than getting frustrated, dejected, अब क्या होगा पता नहीं. नहीं, इसमें कैसे शाइन करना है? कुछ तो लोग शाइन करेंगे, कुछ तो लोग अच्छा करेंगे. I want to be that one. What should I do? Therefore, the digital piece that you are utilizing right now, utilize it properly. Do post your selfies and all of that is fine, but try and get the bus. मैं तो CEO in making हूँ. अगर आप नहीं सोच रहे हो ऐसा, तो कौन सोच रहा है? If you are not thinking that you are a CEO material, then who's thinking? Your friends, society. Unfortunately, I'm going to tell this, they are not. You are the one who has to start thinking and start working on it from today. So I know that, I have almost spoke for more than 40-50 minutes. And I know sorry, I did not look at the watch. I just went on. And I know that, time is very, very precious for all of you. And this was for 1 hour. So I want to save this 10 minutes. I don't have a problem with speaking for 20 more minutes, but I will save this for any questions, anything that you'd like to ask, clarify. Had I been there in front of you, I know it would have been far easier, but in case anything that you want to ask, clarify, I leave that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sandeep sir, it was an intriguing session. Networking, questioning, the analogy of the remote control being my favorite out of today's session. But I have a lot of questions from the students, which I'll just put up. So the first question that we have is from Preena Singhal. She says that if someone discourages you every time, and we know that it happens at work, at, in professional atmosphere, in personal atmosphere, that people are demotivating. So how do you really, keep your interest going on if you tend to lose?
So why, sorry, what was the name? The person who asked? Preena.
Yes.
Preena, you know what? Why they want to pull you down, why they want to discourage you is because they don't like your success. They don't want you to be successful. They will be unhappy if you do well in life. First, get the agenda right. Why are they discouraging? First, they're discouraging you because they're threatened by you. They know that you are powerful. You will do something good in life. They want to kill it there. तो सबसे पहले तो खुश हो जाओ कि आपसे घबरा रहे हैं लोग. तभी इतना टाइम निकाल के, मेरे पास तो टाइम ही नहीं है मैं किसी को डिस्करेज करूं. एजेंडा मेरे पास है ही नहीं, मतलब मेरे कैलेंडर में, मेरे शेड्यूल में कहीं दिखता ही नहीं है. बिकॉज मैं इतना अपने गोल पे फोकस्ड हूं, और कोई आता भी है तो मैं उसको सुन के, ही इज ब्लैबरिंग बट इट्स नॉट गेटिंग इन. देयर इज, कम्युनिकेशन का मतलब क्या होता है? देयर इज अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन हियरिंग एंड लिसनिंग. हियरिंग में क्या होता है? आपके कान में बात आ रही है. लिसनिंग आप दिल से करते हो, दिमाग से करते हो, सुन रहे हो. तो जरूरी नहीं है कई बार सुनो. पहली बात तो आपको एजेंडा समझना उनका क्या है, और खुश इस बात से होना है that they are trying to pull you down because they are scared of you. They are threatened by you. And don't let that beyond a point. Pick up some of the words. Some of the times what they are trying to tell you is that maybe the language is not correct. Some of the times they may not use the right words, but they are trying to tell you something. Maybe it's an improvement area. ठीक है, बोलने का तरीका ठीक था, नहीं था, मतलब खाना हम कहते हैं ना, we eat by our eyes. हमको खाना अच्छा खाना सिर्फ कोई फेंक के दे तो तकलीफ होती है, बट अगर खाना अच्छा तो अच्छे से परोस के दे तो मजा भी आता है खाने में. लेकिन कई बार क्या होता है, देख लो भाई खाना फेंका है लेकिन ठीक है खाना अच्छा है, नो प्रॉब्लम, इसको परोसना नहीं आया, इसको देना नहीं आया, बट खाना तो मजेदार है. So how can you look for what is the feedback? Acha, it's being getting personal, ignore it. But is the agenda right? Is the intention right? First question that. If that is right, maybe presentation is not right. तो आप presentation में सिर्फ word pick कर लो और I think use it for your own benefit. But if you feel that these guys are sucking your energy, they're trying to pull you down always, just avoid them. Find a way to avoid them. That's the best way, because I personally believe कोई पैसा मांगे आप दे दो, कोई टाइम मांगे मत दो. बहुत मुश्किल है, ये इतना कीमती चीज है आपके पास ना. सबके पास 24 घंटे हैं, लेकिन कुछ लोग 24 घंटे में कमाल कर देते हैं. हाउ व्हाट मतलब उसको 28 घंटे नहीं मिलते दिन में, उसको भी 24 घंटे मिलते हैं. तो ये तो सबसे कीमती चीज है. तो अवॉइड सम ऑफ दीज पीपल सो दैट यू स्टे फोकस्ड.
So one last question. Uzma is asking, what are the traits of good leaders? Qualities, traits.
So as I said in the beginning, first trait is to be humble. You need to be, as I said, student for life. You know, I'm writing this book as well. I hope you will be able to see this book by end of this year. And using this time, I've been doing this work. I think first and the most important part of a leader is humility. You should always be humble. And second, you know, you don't know anything, you learn. And whether the last guy or the top guy is teaching you something. तो आपको सबसे बड़ी क्वालिटी ये होनी चाहिए. दूसरी क्वालिटी होनी चाहिए that, as I said in the beginning of the this thing, is that how do you think long term. आपको शॉर्ट टर्म में जीतना है और शॉर्ट टर्म में सुबह 5 बजे उठना है, लेकिन इससे आप बहुत सीईओ नहीं बन जाएंगे. आप 5 बजे उठ के वॉक पे जाते हैं, you will not become the CEO. But if you have a big goal, this will help. Your physical appearance, your mental capability, all of that has a role to play. So think long term and don't get discouraged by one short failure in life. That's failure is to tell you that you are doing something, you're trying at least, and there is a message. You did not succeed, but don't worry, try once again. Maybe try a different method and something will work for you. So I think there are many, and I'm just telling you what I feel is that one that has worked for people that I have worked with, very successful people. One is that humility, ability. When you're humble, you learn. When you're open, you allow people to tell you something and you don't feel bad about it. Second, you think long term. And obviously you need to develop yourself. What you were, अगर आप कल जो इंसान थे और आज भी आप वही हैं, तो there is a problem. Every day you should become better, right? आप में और पेड़ में ये डिफरेंस है. पेड़ तो बेचारा पेड़ ही रहेगा, बट इंसान आप जैसे पैदा हुए थे और जैसे आप मरोगे उसमें बहुत डिफरेंस है, और वो डिफरेंस आप ही ला सकते हो. तो always keep on improving, changing, working hard on yourself. You should be punishing yourself if you don't do anything good. I just a small example. आज ये अच्छा नहीं हुआ, काम नहीं हुआ, ये रिजल्ट सबमिट नहीं किया मैंने, प्रोजेक्ट एक्स, I will not eat food. So that अगली बार यार खाना छूट जाता है यार, कोई नहीं देख रहा, nobody is watching you, but you need to work hard to set that discipline and rhythm going on in your life.
Thank you so much, Mishra sir. Actually, it was quite an amazing session. Positive, the more you're positive, the more opportunities you'll see rather than the obstacles was one of the greatest learning from today's session. So thank you so much.